In this lesson, we will review how to compose two functions, but the new part will be finding the domain of the composition function. But let's just go back to the basics. Let's say we have f of x equals 3x minus 2, and we want to evaluate it at those points. What is f of x? That means f of 2. So everywhere there is an x, we're going to put a 2 and then do that evaluation. Pretty easy. You can do that in your head. And then we would have f of 6, 3 times 6 minus 1, which is 17. And over here we have g of x. So we would put 2 everywhere there is an x and do that calculation. But what happens if I ask you to find this? What does that mean? It means to find f of g of 2. So we start with g of 2, our input function. So we come over here and we go, well, what is g of 2? G of 2 is 6. So I can replace g of 2 with 6. Then I need to go to my f function and say, what is f of 6? It's 17. So you want to do this part first and then put it in there. So in other words, this is my input function. So what is f of 2? F of 2 seems to be 5. So now I need to know what g of 5 is, which is over here, and that is 27. What about this f of 2? F of f of 2. Doesn't that sound weird? Well, first of all, I need to know what f of 2 is, and that's 5. So now I need to find f of 5. So I'm going to stay with the f function, and that is 14. So again, you want to do this first, then put that and evaluate the function at that given value. So what is g of 2? Well, what is g of 2? It seems to be 6. So now I need to find g of 6, which is 38. Those are pretty easy because those deal with numbers. But what if we want to do just f of g of x? What does that mean? F of g of x. Well, what is g of x? It is x squared plus 2. So I am replacing g of x with its function. Now I go to the f function, which is here, and everywhere there is an x, I'm going to replace that with x squared plus 2. So here was the x, and I'm replacing that with x squared plus 2. And now I'm just going to simplify that. I have 3x squared plus 6 minus 1, 3x squared plus 5. You're not solving, you're saying, what is this new composed function? We have taken two functions and we've put them together. Is this going to be the same as that? Sometimes, sometimes not. So this says to find g of f of x. So we're going to find g of, well, what is f of x? It was 3x minus 1. So now I want to go to the g function, which is here, and everywhere there is an x, I'm going to replace it with 3x minus 1. So I'd have 3x minus 1 squared plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and FOIL that out and collect like terms. So that is what that composition function is, and notice those are not the same. And again, this should just be a review from college algebra. Let's look at this graph. Right, so the g function is in red, the f function is in blue. And we're just not going to go through all of them. I'm going to go through the even ones. So you want to do this first. What is g of negative 3? Well, that means when x is negative 3, what is the y value on the g function? It's negative 1. So this is equal to negative 1. So now I want to go to the f function and say, all right, when x is negative 1, what is the y value on the blue one? And it just so happens to also be negative 1. Let's do number 3. We want to find f of negative 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go all the way down here. And what is that y value? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so f of negative 5 is negative 10. But now I have to go negative 10 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I want to know what is g of negative 10. What is the y value on the red one, which is the g function? And that's positive 1. Are you getting it? I know it's a little confusing. Let's do number 5. I think I said I was going to do the even ones, and here I am doing the odd ones. That's okay. So I want to do g of 7. So we're going to go over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want the g function, which is red. What is that y value? It's 0. So now I want f of 0. So when x is 0, what is the y value on the f function? Negative 1. How about this one? G of 0. Not f of 0, but g of 0 means I want to go up here. And what is that y value? It's 2. So now I want f of 2. Over 2, go down to the f function, and that looks like that is at negative 2. F of 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, the blue one, that seems to be negative 3. Now I let x be negative 3, want to go to the red function because that's g, negative 1. Here we go again, g of negative 1. Oops, but I want to go up to the red one. What is that y value? Positive 3. So now I want f of 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the blue one, and that's negative 3. So my challenge for you is to see if you can answer the even ones and be prepared to share those with your classmates.